All right, good morning, Coach. Just a couple of things for me. I'm assuming you came away healthy of last night's game. Any changes to your lineup tonight?
Yeah, there'll be a couple changes. There'll be more game time. A couple guys banged up. We'll look to get some fresh guys in.
Okay, any decision on goaltender?
Yeah, Forsberg will go tonight.
Okay, and as far as Columbus is concerned, what does your scouting report tell you about that, Coach?
They go as their captain goes. Boone Jenner, physical, hardworking guy that gets on the forecheck, and their team kind of follows that mold. They've got some high-end players back in Line A and Voracek. Power plays a lot better now with those guys back. They got Werenski on the back end, and the goaltending's been really, really good. I think one of the tops in the leagues when Elvis is in the net. So, again, a big physical opponent, a little different than every team's a little bit different. I think Washington's probably the biggest team in the league and heavy. This team's not like maybe as heavy, but they play that kind of style. We got to be ready in the first period to bang these guys, and it'll be a little quicker probably for us right away.
Bruce Scariac, Post Media. What have you seen in Alex Formanton's game? It looks like he's got a lot more.
Well, for sure he does, and that takes time. It's easy to say, just throw him in, play in the NHL. It doesn't matter what, I can talk to him every day, reassure him. But at the end of the day, players need to know that they can do it at this level and see the results. And as soon as they see it and they start to do it more often, they go back to, what they did in junior or whatever it is, and they realize, okay, I'm good enough to do it at this level. And I think you're seeing that with Formy now. He's more consistent. He's done a nice job on the penalty kill. He's a threat every night, whether he's drawing a penalty or getting breakaways. But for me, probably the biggest progression in his game is his ozone cycle game. He's always been a guy that can really fly off the rush. You seen last night, he made a couple nice moves, kept his feet moving, made a great pass to Sanny. And if he can do that with his game, the sky's the limit for this guy.
Well, one of the things that people always talked about him was his speed, but he's much more than speed, right? Like he's a physical player who wins battles as well.
Absolutely. You got to think, if you're in a playoff series, he's a big guy. He can finish checks. He got in a fight earlier in the year. He showed he's not going to get pushed around. He'll stand his ground. He can create off shorthanded. He can create 5-on-5. So, he's a great piece for us going forward, and a young guy that's just getting better every day.
I would assume you'll have tomorrow off, but would you expect that Nikita Zaitsev would join you to start skating this week, or has he been skating?
No, he hasn't skated.
What about that?
He hasn't skated. He's trying hard. It's looking like after the All-Star break for him. At the soonest, we're hopeful for Connor Brown as well. So, but like I've said all along, with Z out, other guys get more minutes, get more looks. Same thing for Connor Brown. Allows Formy to get some touches on the power play and some things like this. So, it's not ideal that you're on a young team to lose a couple of older guys that play a lot of important minutes and are good leaders on our team. But at the same time, they're great minutes for some of these guys.
Ian Mendez, The Athletic.
Yeah, morning, DJ. I got two for you. Just wondering, that first period yesterday, you didn't allow a shot at even strength against Washington, and I'm just wondering, tactically, strategically, what you saw in your team that allowed them to prevent Washington from getting a single shot at even strength.
Well, I thought we did a really good job in the neutral zone. We got above. And we were a little faster in D zone than we have been. In saying that, Washington is one of those teams that doesn't just waste shots. They like the clean look. They have enough talent to do so. But give our guys credit, and we blocked a lot of shots too. I finished the game on the plane last night, and they attempted some, and we got some guys that blocked, and we just, we got to continue to get better defensively like that. Only 4 interslot chances against last night, which is really good. Would put you in the top half of the league. And if you do that, you give your goalie a chance. And we have to continue getting better at that. And that has to be our mindset. Also, we don't want to just sit back there. We want to be able to create offense and skate and hold on to pucks. And the longer you have it in the O-zone, the less you got to defend. So, I mean, it was a perfect road period for us in the sense we didn't get the result at the end of the night, but a great first period for us in a really electric building with great hockey players over there.
And my last question would be, what's your approach with a guy like Josh Norris when he has that type of miscue? Do you sit him down afterwards? You let him cool off? Or I'm just curious what your approach is on a tough play like that for a young player.
Well, I mean, certainly it has to be fixed. In saying that, he's done so many great things for us. So it's a hard part. You don't want to, with a young team, you can't just concentrate on the negative. It's got to be a learning lesson. And, we played what I thought a really hard fought, 3 periods. 3-on-3 will never be a part of the playoffs. So it's a different element. Sorry. But it's an opportunity for you to get another point there. And I just think, you got to take care of that puck a little bit better. You want to make plays. You want to give them the freedom to make plays, but you can't be careless either. But you know what? They're all going to make mistakes that are going to cost us games, and they're all going to everyone's going to have their hand in on it, me included. And you know what? You learn from it. You go back, and you expect them to come back today. And like I said earlier, there's so many games in so little time. That's the best part of it. You get to play again today. And, he was probably our best player in Pittsburgh, and he'll turn the page and be good again today.
Final question is from Matt Tabone at Senators.com.
Hey, DJ, I have just 2 questions for you. First of all, you mentioned tonight Tim Stützle was probably your best skater. Just what are you seeing in the team right now that you are liking so much?
What I liked about him the most is when the pressure came on in the third period, you find out about certain players, if they're ready to really be on the big stage, or where they're at kind of in their development. And when it's 2-2 and the crowd's jumping and, you could fold to, Ovi Backstrom and Kuznetsov and they're coming and you feel that heat. What I saw from Timmy was a calming presence with the puck. He didn't just give it away. He was continuing to skate, going forward, being dangerous, making plays. And that's a lot for a young guy. A lot of young guys get that puck and they just give it away. They don't really want it. They want to make sure, I'm not going to be the guy to cough it up, get to overtime kind of thing. And Timmy wasn't that. I thought he broke the puck out. He kept skating. He was dangerous. And that's awfully early in a young guy's career to have that kind of poise.
Second of all, DJ, haven't faced Columbus here in a couple of years. So, what's the biggest positive from perhaps last night's game that you want to take into facing the Blue Jackets?
Well, when you're on the road, 9-10 here, we're going to finish before we get home for some games. Unfortunate, we're not going to have fans, but I think we're 500 or right around just over through these games on the road, and I think all the games that we've won, we've come out really with a purpose in the first period. I mean, even Pittsburgh, we easily could have been up in that game and won that game. We were ready when the puck dropped. You can't get behind on the road. It's really hard to claw your way back. If you look all the way back, I was going through the road games that we played, Florida, some of the games that we won on the road. You've got to come in the first period. Last night, we could have won. We had a really good first period. So this is a loud building. We don't want to hear that cannon. If we don't hear the cannon, it's a good thing. But we've got to come out. They're going to come after a D, and they're going to bang us, and they're going to try and grind us down like they always do in this building. It's a great atmosphere. Another test for our group, but if we can come out tire better in the first period, I think we're in a really good spot.